You got to kill the curse before you grow the harvest. When Jesus was on his way to Calvary, one of the things that they did is they saw a thorn bush. And in mocking Jesus to be the King of Kings, they took the thorn bush and they wove it into a crown. In ancient Hebrew, there's no word for coincidence. Now watch this. When Adam and Eve were in the garden, God provided. Now Adam and Eve had to work. They had to do what God told them to do, but everything they put their hands to, God blessed it. It flourished, it multiplied. That's why on Shabbat, when we say the blessing over the bread, which is symbolic of our finances, the blessing is God brings bread from the ground. Well, God doesn't bring bread from the ground. God brings wheat, and we grind it, and we bake it, and we turn into bread. But the teaching is we're not here to eke out a living. We're here to live under the blessing of Jehovah Jireh. Come on, somebody. And so when Adam and Eve disobeyed God, the Bible says, and if I had time, we'd read it. The Bible says he put them out of the garden, and then the next verse is he placed them out of the garden. Now, one of the things that I've learned in studying ancient Jewish wisdom is whenever there is something repeated twice, it's because it's to get your attention that there is a secret there. Let me say it again. When you're reading the Bible, God's not being redundant. He's just, when you see, so why does the Bible say God placed him out of the garden and then God put him out of the garden? Because in that, when you see something repeated twice, God is saying, I've got a secret in that for you. When you read it in Hebrew, it says God physically removed Adam and Eve from the garden. But when he put him out of the garden, it reads in Hebrew, and he divorced himself from all mankind of being Jehovah Jireh. He said, because of your disobedience and you touched what was mine. And this is why it goes into a tenth is the Lord's. And the offering besides. Don't touch that, because the same thing that happened to Adam will happen to you. And so the Bible says he put man out of the garden physically, but spiritually he divorced himself from all mankind of being Jehovah Jireh. And so that they would remember this, instead of the land flourishing with milk and honey, he said he cursed the ground with what? What is it? Thorns and thistles. Now here comes Jesus to not only break the curse, but bring us back to the blessing.